we have an online business program, which is step number one for a lot of people when they come and join our community, because it's an opportunity for them to get around.
Meet Brad Sheppard. Brad is co-running Trainer HQ, which is Australia's leading business coaching program for personal trainers, studio owners, and online fitness coaches.
Over the years, we've had used quite a number of different tech stacks. So 17 years of doing this, and we've been in the game. Someone comes in, free lead magnet, $7 online course, and 1 out of 4 people move into $12,000 program.
The monthly revenue translates into a $2 million run rate a year, and he does all of that with just 47,000 followers.
So really our mission is to be able to provide that for them, which is stuff that I didn't have in the early days. That's our goal. In terms of profit, we're just about to hit 7 figures profit, which would be the first time I've hit 7 figures profit.
Welcome Brad Sheppard to the show. Brad is co-running Trainer HQ, Australia's leading business coaching program for personal trainers, studio owners, and online fitness coaches. Trainer HQ provides fitness professionals with the right systems, structure, and support to grow and scale their business and profitability. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Great to be here.
Yes, let's kick this off with what's your mission on the planet?
Oh, well, for us, I mean, we started in the fitness industry. So, I turned 50 next year. I got my first barbell set when I was 12 years old, and pretty much I knew this was going to be my life. So, from my history and my background all through those years, I knew that moving into the fitness industry was something that was important to me. And I'll touch on that later in terms of running fitness businesses. But, the next part is going like we just see too many fitness professionals, gym owners, online coaches who are great at what they do, great at their craft, but just struggle to create a successful business because they just don't, they lack the systems, the process, the structure, and so forth. So really our mission is to be able to provide that for them, which is stuff that I didn't have in the early days. So that's our goal.
Right. In your, before we go into that, in your previous life, what did you do before, and what inflection point made you start your business?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I got a business partner, so we're 50-50 at Trainer HQ, myself and Jason Abanowicz. We run it together. We met each other when we were 15 years old, and we met on the stage of a bodybuilding competition at the age of 15. So we were both still in high school, so we were both pumping weights from a young age. And that I knew was just going to be my journey and my destiny. So as I went to university, I did a degree in education, studying to be a physical education teacher. But during that time, I started personal training people, and personal training just seemed like the obvious thing. So by the time I come to the end of my degree, I was making more money as a personal trainer than I was ever going to make as a teacher. So I was like, all right, well, this makes sense. But I followed the roller coaster journey that a lot of personal trainers do, and I was just exchanging time for money, and I was, good at training people, but I would have times when things were going really well, and for no apparent reason, I could lose a bunch of clients, and that would present me with a loss of confidence, loss of certainty, loss of income. And so I had this sort of roller coaster journey for a number of years, and it wasn't until I got my first coach and someone who showed me, mate, there's a completely different way of looking at this. You are you're great at training people, but you suck at business, and you need to learn that. So I went on a mission,
right,
to be able to learn the systems, the process, the marketing, and so forth. And that
makes sense.
We both, Jason went off and he owned a gym. So I spent about 20 years of running a personal training business. And so that was really the starting point of what led us to commence Trainer HQ.
Let's talk about today then. If I were a typical client of yours, what's the core offer that I would buy from you?
Yeah, the main thing of what we do is one-to-one, person-to-person business coaching. So for 17 years now, it's what we've done. And different to, I guess, joining a group program, someone jumps on a Zoom call with a bunch of other people, we deliver one-to-one, person-to-person coaching. So I guess you might call it more high-ticket offer. And so when someone comes on board with us, they commit with a 13-month program, because they're about to run a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint, and it's going to take time and energy and so forth. And that person gets their own personal coach to take them on the journey. We have a lot of the intellectual property, resources, documents, templates, systems that we use. And then in addition to that, we also do run, face-to-face events, online events, and so forth to assist our clients.
Right. So is it just one price point then, or do you have a range? And if so, where does it start? Where does it end?
Yeah, we've got a few different ranges. We have a number of free offers, a lot of lead magnets, which I can go into the detail of later. In terms of a value ladder, the main part of the business coaching sits at a price point of around about $12K. where someone would enroll in that program now. There are some variants of that because we might have some people that have a more bespoke or tailor-made option. But generally speaking, that's where I guess the majority of people would sit on that style of program. And then we have some lower tier offers. So we have an online business program, which is step number one for a lot of people when they come and join our community, because it's an opportunity for them to get around, the information, see do they know us, like us, trust us, they want to be part of what we got, and then they might step up into that next level.
Okay, so 12K, that's for the 13-month program? Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so like 1K a month ballpark.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah. So in terms of a price point, personal trainers, fitness professionals, we've got a bunch of them who are on their journey to their first, say, 10K month. That's probably a good, say, 40% of clientele that come and join us. And then the other range of clientele are probably hitting that 10K month and looking to go, right, how do I get to that, 20, 25, 30K or greater per month in the fitness business?
If I were to interview some of your clients, what specific value in your offering would they rave most about?
Probably the biggest thing we hear is the level of support they get. So they feel like they've got someone that's got their back. They feel like they're in a community. They feel like they have a connection and a relationship to it. And for a number of people, like they make more money, they get more leads, all that sort of stuff. But that's not what we supply. What we've seen people do is they've been able to, get out of debt. They've been able to purchase their first property. They've been able to purchase their dream house. They've been able to purchase their own gym, all these things, and buy back time, which is just probably the most important thing.
What tools do you use to deliver your value to customers?
Over the years, we've used quite a number of different tech stacks. So 17 years of doing this, and we've been in the game. We've been there, done it with many of them. Right now, we have our own CRM called MXP, which we've been able to develop and use effectively, and that's been a godsend for us. Over the years, we've also used LMS platforms. We use the Passion app effectively to deliver our online business course as well. But effectively, like, CRM's been the most powerful portion of it.
Got it. Take me on a timeline. When did you launch the business as is with the current offer stack? Did it launch 17 years ago, or was it now more recently where you really had it?
Pretty much 17 years ago. There was no Facebook back then, right? So what we were both doing, myself and Jason, were both running our own fitness businesses at the time. And I was at that point in time, I had a team of 13 personal trainers. We were doing over 250 personal training appointments a week. We had good cash flow coming in. I didn't want to leave, right? But Jason had started a mentoring program, and he had a pilot program running where he had some people that he was coaching. And he got me down to one of his workshops to just share my knowledge and information. And he just said, mate, I reckon there's an opportunity for me and you to run a workshop because we were both reasonably time poor. So at the time, in early 2008, we ran our first 2-day event. We got 50 people along to that for 2 days. And in that, we just unpacked our business knowledge and experience and what was working for us. And on the back end of that, we sold 10 people into our first business coaching program. That was 10K each person. And so we're like, all right, we got 10 people who are willing to pay us $10,000 each. We better put together this program. We better make it happen, right? So that's pretty much where it started.
Good transition to talk about success. So in a typical month now, how many paying customers do you get?
On average per year, sort of up towards 200 people on the program at different levels.
200 per year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So likely also you do some launches. It's like a little bit like not even, right? Like maybe some spikes here and there. But 200 times 12K is 2.4 million.
Yeah. So this year, we're about to come close to finishing out the financial year. We're just going to probably finish a smidge under 2 mil for a year. And in terms of profit, we're just about to hit 7 figures profit, which would be the first time of hitting 7 figures profit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And
maybe to understand growth as well, you're doing this for 17 years, right? Like how did it ramp up, especially over let's say the last 12 months?
Yeah. I'd say for us, if I look back on the period with my children, or it's called children, they're 14 and 15. Jason's got a 14-year-old daughter. So through this time, we've had a family. So in many ways, I look at it like we've built a highly successful lifestyle business. So we've been able to, during this time, we've been able to, I've had the privilege of dropping my kids off at school, pick them up in the afternoon, do homework with them, do sport, all that sort of stuff. So we've had 12 years of consistently doing a greater than 7-figure business. And so, but in many ways, it's been driven by us in terms of like we're still in it day in, day out. However, I guess it's afforded us the opportunity to sort of build the type of lifestyle that we want.
It's amazing.
Get ourselves debt free, set ourselves up for what we want, take overseas trips, do all that part, right? So it's kind of like those two things, for us, we were heavily focused around going, we want to build this around what we want, how it really serves us.
If you think the creator economy is really interesting, then I got something for you. On milliondollarcreators.club, we actually created a database of all the creators out there, and you see not just their fans, followers, subscribers, but actually how much money are they making. So with that, we bring now transparency into the creator economy, and you really see how are the best of the best get their customers, price their offers, create their offer stack, get customers, which tools are they using, how will they grow and triple their business going forward. So if that's interesting for you, including lists of who makes the most revenue, who has the fastest revenue growth, who has the biggest audience, who has the fastest growing audience, who makes the most revenue per follower, and who has the most exciting offer stack from low end all the way to the high end, then go to milliondollarcreators.club and enjoy the data. Right. It's amazing. Real quick before we move on, I would like to understand retention a bit. You said it's let's say 30 month, let's say 12, like 1 year program.
Yeah.
Let's say 100 people start this year.
Yeah.
You said 200, but let's just for the simplicity, like it's 100. How many do people renew after a year and like stay with you? And out of the 100, how many?
Yeah. So the average client's with us for about 2 years. And we've got clients currently with us for 5, 6, 7 years, right? So, and I guess what happens is always a next level in business. Some of those move into as they're someone who's in their 4th or 5th year with us might have a scaled down version of what they previously had because their level of support they need might be different. Others might be into their 3rd year and growing and scaling and they need more help, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the expenditure side, the cost side of the business real quick. So how big is the team? And if I were to have that secret chat with your accountant, what are like the biggest items on the cost side?
Yeah. It's fascinating because we currently sit with a team of about 17 people. And so you'd hear that and I could say, we've got a team of 17. You might think, oh, this is huge. And this is a huge payroll and all the rest of it. But really the nature of the business is you've got 2 directors. You've got Lynn, who's our office manager, who's worked for us for 14 years. She effectively runs the admin and the business side of it. We've got our main salesperson in place in full-time appointment setting. We've got a part-time closer, and then we've currently got a team of 12 business coaches. Now, out of our 12 business coaches, add up all their hands-on hours, they add up to approximately 1 full-time employee. So in terms of speaking about in terms of an expense, really, apart from the 2 directors, you've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 full-time employees. So, for us, although our coaches get paid incredibly well based on what they offer and what they do, that's a portion of it, but not a huge portion. In terms of ongoing expenses, I mean, our we have some tech stack, we have some general stuff that goes on. We have an office that there's only about 3 or 4 of us in here. So overall, we run the model reasonably lean. And I guess what it means for us is, we can achieve great numbers in terms of top line profitability, without having to turn over huge amounts of revenue. Before we continue, there's one favor I would like to ask. If you enjoy what we do here and you enjoy the guests that we bring, please join Million Dollar Creators by hitting the subscribe button. And if you do, I'll make you a deal. I do everything in my power to make this show bigger and better for you. Do we have a deal? Enjoy the show. Clear. Let's talk about customer acquisition, lead generation. So how do you get eyeballs about or awareness about your offers? Yeah, we heavily lead magnets, and they've been probably the most successful for us. So at any one time, we'd probably have around about 4 to 5 lead magnet offers running. So right now, in terms of the main platforms, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and also Google Ads separately, we give away a copy of our #1 best-selling book. There we have an online trainer playbook. We have a marketing strategy template. We currently have a video training on coaching trainers how to move from, say, 2K a week to 5K a week or greater. So I guess we look at all the various sub-niches inside the fitness industry and make sure that we cover off on what are their main needs. So the main things we hear, I'm after more leads. I want to learn how to put in better systems. I need to be able to attract more people. So from us, they come in, lead magnet step number one, and then from there we commence a nurture process. So we've got a very thorough process. A lot of that is automated. However, we have our main person be able to reach out, welcome to the community, and then get a sense on going, okay, is this person just looking for resources? Do they want to be around us? And we deliver bucket loads of free content, free information. And so from our perspective, we just want to give away huge amounts of info. So if someone did that only, and they would go, awesome, Trainer HQ, it's great. But we also know that a good portion of people want assistance in the implementation of how to get there.
Two quick questions on that. One is, out of 100 people, how many come through paid? How many come through organic? And second, how do you do the transition from free content to paid content? Is there a discovery call happening, or a webinar, or just like straight to sale?
Yeah, so out of 100, and it's a great question. My assumption, I'd say that 70 out of 100 would come through paid marketing. And the next step from there is moving them into, for some people, into the online program. We've got a low ticket offer, so we've got a $7 offer. And that's worked incredibly well. That converts at 25% into coaching. So someone comes in, free lead magnet, $7 online course, and 1 out of 4 people move into $12,000 program. So that's a successful model for us. But really, we have a number of people who will come from a free lead magnet, and from there they'll get adequately pre-qualified. And I guess, in my opinion, 17 years of doing this and watching business coaching become more relevant and become more of the norm. For a lot of people, they're turning up saying, I need a coach, I need a mentor, I need someone to help me get there.
Right.
Yeah.
What has been your secret to grow and convert your audience? Was it the paid ads that you're running over time, or what grew the audiences?
I'd say a blend of both. So we don't spend excessive amounts of money on ads. So like right now, we would invest on Meta circa $5,000 a month, on Google circa $2,000 a month. So it's a total of 7K per month ad spend. Over the years, we've done that in various stages and formats. But really, we make sure that we get them in. We get them into our community groups. We get them into our CRM. So of course, our goal is to go, hey, let's invite them in, but let's make sure we give them great content when they arrive in. So I think it's a blend of both. We attract them in via paid ads. And then the next part is we need to do a great job, because if we're not delivering great content, then they're not going to hang around.
Just real quick, to understand this, you said 200 customers a year. Like, how many of them are long-term customers? Like, how many new customers a year are coming in?
Good question. I'd say, let's say out of 100, I'd say we've probably got a 75%, maybe a 70% new, 30% going. Yeah.
But let's say if you have 75% new customers, that means, and you run, what is it like? Is it 7K a month on ads?
Ad spend.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 7 times so it's 84K ad spend, and 70% of your customers come through ads.
Yeah.
And you make like 75% of your business is new customers.
Yeah.
And you make $2 million a year. That means you're highly profitable on the customer acquisition side with ads.
Yeah.
And then the question is, why don't you scale that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah. Really, for us, the constraint is there's a few things. The nature of how we offer it is we offer person-to-person coaching. So we've got coaches in training. We've currently got 4 coaches coming through our training protocol. So really, for us, it's we need to add more coaches.
Okay, so the delivery side is bottlenecking you essentially.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's talk about the future then. Can you triple the business? Yes or no with the current resources? Like the answer is no, because you need more of the delivery coaches.
Yeah.
But then what would be the strategy or tactic to get to that 3x growth in the next 12 months?
Yeah. So I guess, look, for us right now, we'd say roughly 80% of our business is in Australia, 20% in New Zealand.
Right.
We still know that we're hugely untapped even after 17 years in the type of business that we got in this country, but also in New Zealand. So for us, we both turn 50 next month, and we're starting to look at what does the next 20 years look like. So from that perspective, it's like we've got some great team members who have been we got two of our coaches who have been coaching on our program for 10 years as part of our team. So we look back at the type of people that we've brought through. So part of our strategy would be to start to divest potentially portions of it, or look at other territories or look at other areas. I guess the short story for us is, definitely there's some constraints in terms of immediate growth, but in terms of the future growth, we've got some great people coming through who can assist that to grow further.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like, how to say that, looking for who could like continue the business over the next decades.
That's right. And I mean, hey, man, we don't feel like your average 50-year-old, right? So I feel like your 50-year-old turning 30, right? So we could be running this business in 20 years, in 30 years and more, right?
Yeah.
However,
so succession planning and making sure that everything goes all right going forward, and maybe even better. That's kind of like the goal.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. To attract the right people, and we've got great people who are hungry and they want to be part of it in the future moving forward. So, from that perspective, we just see it as win-win.
What's the biggest thing holding you back personally from that unlocking that next level of your business?
Look, it's a great question. I mean, there's two directors at the head of it, and I'd probably say we're the bottleneck, right?
Yeah.
Because we're still in it. We're making the day-to-day decisions and day-to-day calls, and for someone from the outside looking in to go, the best thing you guys could do is step aside, and maybe, like you said, scale up your ads and bring more people in, bring in more coaches. So that might be it.
Yeah. Very clear. Next section is called Favorite 5. It's a fast-paced section. You can answer in one word.
Yeah.
Let's go. What's your favorite book or business book?
Oh man, can I only pick one?
Let's start with one.
I'd say the E-Myth was the turning point for me. Michael Gerber, E-Myth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your favorite way to get inspiration and to learn and grow?
Favorite way?
Favorite way to get inspiration and to learn and grow?
Yeah. I consume plenty of audios and watch YouTube clips and so forth. So I find for that just keeps me sharp.
What is audio, like a podcast or?
Yeah, podcast or an Audible or something.
Got it. What's your favorite person that you're studying, your role model?
Oh, look, we probably got a few. Jeremy Minor in the area of sales. I'm a fan of the Scaling Up team. I love some of Hamosi's strategies on lifetime gross profit over CAC and some of the numbers and calculations. So I say there's quite a few people in there that I enjoy their take on things.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite event or conference that you have attended or would love to attend?
Oh, I'd say it's ours. We've over the 17 years we've run over 140 2-day live events.
Wow.
Every year we do a big event in Bali. So we, from our perspective, that's at number one.
What's your favorite online tool for building your company?
Definitely MXP, the CRM. It's a winner.
What's your favorite city or place that you would love to move to?
Oh man, geez, that's a great question. I'd probably say places like Spain and these European places look stunning, right? So I've traveled there as a tourist, but I could see myself spending a summer there. That's for sure.
What's the biggest thing on your mind?
From our perspective, I think I speak for both of us, is really this next stage in terms of how do we start to divest, how do we bring in the right people and allow the company to grow without just purely relying upon Brad and Jason and our ideas.
Personal section, how many hours do you work per week?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'd probably say, on average at 30 to 40. When I say 30 to 40, you could find me at 3:30 a.m. Punching away work, and I could go in uninterrupted for 4 hours and then spend a 12-hour day. But then there could be other days where there could be other things that take us away from it. So I think 40 is probably a fair assumption.
And how many hours do you sleep per night then?
I'd probably say on average around about 7. Early riser, 3:30 up. So that generally means 8 o'clock-ish. I'm pretty keen to be hitting my head against a pillow. Quite often I exercise first thing in the morning. Other days, if I'm not exercising first up, I'll be punching out business.
Yeah, it's impressive. What's the situation? Married, single, any kids?
Married.
You kids,
yeah. 17 years married. Kids are my daughter's 15, my son's 14. So yeah, we're in a great spot. Great family. Lots of laughs, lots of fun.
And you're right now 50, right? That's your age.
Oh, almost a few weeks away. June 24. Depends on when this one goes live.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Likely you'll be 50. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Final question, I also want to give some advice. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Look, I'd say I was late in starting to invest. So I was good at when I got into business, I was good at making money, but I didn't have an upbringing where we had a lot of money. So consequently, what I found myself is when I got myself in, let's say, possession of it, I found myself miraculously relieving myself of it. And when I look back, I made a lot and also spent a lot. My mindset was I can spend a lot today because I can go back and make shitloads more tomorrow. So it wasn't, and I started investing in property and shares and so forth a bit later in life. And it's just being able to bring in so much personal wealth, set ourselves up debt free, provide us with the type of place we want to live, all that part. So I go, if I could go back and go, hey mate, why don't you just take a portion of that money that you're spending and start to invest it in certain areas? Again, I probably could have got to that journey much quicker.
Clear. That's Brad Sheppard. Brad is co-running Trainer HQ, Australia's leading business coaching program for personal trainers, studio owners, and online fitness coaching. He was a physical education teacher and then had a passion always to help others to level up their business, built systems for his own business, and then eventually helped others with that. And out of that came $1 million business where he is working one-on-one with his clients, usually for $1K a month or $12K a year. A price point, which is with the amount of ROI that these coaches get, a great deal, and supporting them in key business decisions, community, connection, to really take their business to the next level. That already operates for 17 years with 200 customers per year. And the team is small. It's like 2 directors, office manager, salesperson, and coaches that work with the clients. Main cost therefore is payroll, a bit of office, a bit of tech. And actually with paid ads, 70% of your customers come through paid ads, going into lead magnets, free content, $7 offer, and then ultimately join the core offer. That is a great return on ad spend ROAS for that ad spend invested. And now the question is actually turning 50 soon, the succession planning, how to make sure that even the next generation can continue the business and even level it up further. That was quite insightful. Thank you so much, Brad, for sharing your passion and taking us to the next level.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Thank you.